Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Creative Challenge for our friends down in Australia. My name is Andrew Hockrattle, and I am Iron Man. That's true. It's true. You can check it, Google it, look it up. Hello, lots of familiar faces in chat. Let me know that you're watching, and let me know where you're watching from in chat. On my monitor, it says that one person's watching. I know that's not true. So let me know where you're watching from, and let me know. Let me know what the party is. Let me know what the deal is. All right, so let's go ahead and get started today. I'm going to be telling you a bunch of ways that you can get involved, that you can tune in, and there we go, 124 of you. That is more like it. So if you want to, you can stick around for the entirety of this stream. It's going to be a fun time. We are going to be learning how to make an animal using simple shapes. We're going to jump into Adobe Illustrator in just a few minutes here, but first I have some super fun things to tell you about. Let me go ahead and open my window here. If you want to join us, you can very easily on this journey around the world. You can go to behance.net/challenge/illustrator. It's the place to be. It's where every single day we are posting a new creative challenge for you. And for those of you that are here now, just a warning, we are going to go over this again in just a little while because I know some emails are going out, some tweets are going out right now. So when I see the influx of people, just pretend like this didn't happen. We'll just experience it again together, a little Groundhog Day. So you can get all your information right here, behance.net/challenge/illustrator. We have been to Paris, we have been to Sydney, and today we are heading down to Melbourne. We are going to have a great time here, and I love that they chose the koala icon. I just said that we're making an animal out of simple shapes, and I guess the koala is what we needed to go to. We will not be building a koala today. But you can. There are no rules in my streams. That's right, no rules at all. There are no wrong answers, just things that are different. So feel free to explore what's going on, try new things, and push yourself creatively as we work through Illustrator. There's one more thing that I want to tell you about, and that is something coming up very exciting. It's Max. That's the theme song for Max. So Adobe Max is coming up October 20th and 22nd. October 20th to the 22nd. Make sure that you register and make sure that you sign up for your sessions, build out your schedule. Yours truly will be giving some sessions, so find my name, click on that add to calendar, and I'll see you there. I've winked 3 times so far on this stream. That's too much winking. I'm going to need to calm it down. If you want to join our community where I don't wink, you can go ahead and join us over here, bit.ly/AI Discord. It's the place to be. It's the place that we are posting all of our work, all of our projects, and making some pretty cool stuff. Let's hop over and see what we've been doing. Look at that. We have some awesome art going on from our Daily Creative Challenge today. And yes, it's a giveaway. We are making a sea turtle today. In my brain, I don't know, I always just think of Finding Nemo and Crush. And I know that they're in Sydney, which we probably should have done for that. But since we're in Melbourne today, I am going to go to the Sea Life Aquarium, which helps to rehabilitate. And we are going to be visiting our sea turtle friends. Again, you can make a koala if you want using simple shapes. It's super easy. You can also make, I don't know, a quokka, an interesting animal. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I hope you do. So let's go ahead and jump into our lesson on these streams. We have a lot of fun, get a little bit goofy. So we're about to get goofy, we're about to get weird, but hopefully it helps you remember some of the things that we talk about and the concepts that we learn. So tune in, hang out, and let's hop on to our world tour. Hey, make our hat here, daily through challenge. Oh, all right. Welcome back to our challenge. Today we are, yes, scuba diving in Melbourne, or just at the beach of Melbourne. I guess that we're probably somewhere south of Melbourne, hanging out in the beach. We're going snorkeling, going to see some cool stuff, or maybe we're at the aquarium. Who knows? It's an imaginary trip around the world. So let me know if you're in Melbourne. Let me know where the beaches are, and if there is good snorkeling there, because I'd love to visit and I'd love to do it. So as we continue on today, I have something very special to show you. We're going to be looking at some simple shapes and how to leverage the simple shapes of Adobe Illustrator to build more complex shapes and to build something that is an animal or maybe some kind of creature. And as a bonus, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you an insane tool and an insane little trick to combine some things to create a really, really cool effect that will speed up your workflow. So stick around for that. Make sure you stay for the whole stream. And oh my goodness, we have a friend who's joined us. Hello, this is Timmy. This is Timmy the Turtle. He's my friend. And Timmy the Turtle here is floating along. And yes, the YouTube gets a little bit weird. That's why if you're watching on YouTube, come on over to Behance, behance.net/live. That's wink number 4. We get 6 today. So our friend here, Timmy the Turtle, when I look at him, right, he's a beautiful creature, but as an artist, I have to think of translating something in the real world into the digital world. And when I look at him, what I really see is not necessarily a creature, but if I'm trying to translate him, I'm thinking, how would I build this in Illustrator, right? I can't take a shell into Illustrator and just use that, right? It's not Photoshop. We can't manipulate. We need to think creatively of how we can build this simply, quickly, and most efficiently. So when I look at him, I actually see this. There we go. So I see that he's basically built out of basic shapes. Lots of ovals, lots of circles, and a couple rectangles down here for his little feetsy flippers. So those are all things that I'm seeing as a part of this. His head has a little bit of a curve to it, but really we're going to use maybe a circle and a rectangle to build that out. So thinking this way, it looks crazy, but we can augment all of those different shapes to create a gorgeous sea turtle. So let's go ahead and hop over into Illustrator. If you have not downloaded this source file, it does not have the gradient on it. You'll see a different source file that is just open because I didn't want to lock you into an underwater creature. You can do a land creature, you can do a sky creature, whatever kind of creature you want to do. Again, there's no rules. Do whatever you want. I'm not your mom. So challenge 3, create an animal with simple shapes using the Shape and Pathfinder tools. I reckon that we should head down to the aquarium. So let's go ahead and do that. Here I've opened my Pathfinder panel. This is the only thing that you'll need today. We're going to use some other tools, but this is very, very important. So let's go ahead and drag over here and check this out. See, I cheated. I cheated a little bit. Don't look. So we have our friend here, our friend Timmy Turtle. And Timmy is basically made out of simple shapes. So let's go ahead and use those simple shapes and see what we can do. So we're going to grab the ellipse over here. And under here are all of the simple shapes that we're going to use to build out this. And what kind of creatures are you thinking? Yes. What kind of creatures are we building? A platypus. Ooh, with a little bill. They are the only aquatic marsupial. That's a fun word. So we can use the basic shapes right here. Rectangles, rounded rectangles, ellipse, polygons, stars, and a flare. I never use the flare, but maybe we'll do it one day. So I'm going to use the ellipse tool because we have a lot of round shapes. Now, in most of these, I've taken a reference from Adobe stock and I've started to trace over it. Today, we're going to kind of build next to it and just get the general idea. And that way, if you don't have reference to pull on to trace over, you can just kind of eyeball it and try to figure out what the shapes are. So first we have an oval that is his shell. I'm simply clicking and dragging using the ellipse tool. You can see that it starts wherever I click and it ends wherever I drag to. If we hold the Alt or Option button, it will actually scale from the center. Looks like one of those centrifuge things that you'd strap into and spin around in high school. And we can drag that right there to the oval that we want. So that's about the shape that we want. We're gonna go ahead and make that green because he's a turtle. Now, there are some points to this, and it gets a little bit pointy on the side, so we'll go back after the fact and change those. When you're building with simple shapes, you never want to get hung up on anything. You always just want to build as fast as you can. So up here, we are going to build out his head. Again, it's got a little bit of an oval, and let's go ahead and zoom in here and give him some eyes. Why not? Some little ovally eyes. Sure, that feels like an eye. Let's drag it out just a little bit more. There we go. That feels like a nice little turtle eye. And another one over here, little cute guy. And of course, let's give him one more that is his pupil kind of popping out here. Let's align it right there, and let's go ahead and make that black. Again, we are only using simple shapes, and this isn't going to be the most photorealistic, but what we're doing here is we're trying to interpret. We're trying to create something that looks like and reminds us of a turtle using simple shapes. Next, I'm going to make the neck. I'm going to grab the rectangle tool right here. And the rectangle tool you can click and hold, or you can just hit M very easily. And we are going to click in the middle and drag down to make his neck. Now you're saying, Andrew, this is wrong. This does not look good. I agree. It's terrible, but we are going to make it look good. So don't worry, we'll do that at the end. We have definitely too long of a neck, and you can see that the neck kind of curves out here. Don't worry, we're going to fix all of that in post once we have it built out. Again, a lot of people get hung up as they go. Don't. Build out your simple shapes, and then you can go back and fix the things that are wrong. Now, with his little flipper fins, we can go ahead and look. Actually, you know what we could do? If you tuned in for any of the past lessons, we could use the arc tool. We could use the arc tool, but we're not going to. We're going to use simple shapes. We're going to grab an ellipse right over here, and we're going to do the first ellipse and kind of drag it out as an oval. We're going to use R to rotate that, and we're just trying to make sure that it matches up exactly where we want. So that was a pretty good guess. Right there, we have it matching up pretty much where we want. And Yertle the swimming turtle, yes. We will fix it in post, yes, absolutely. So we put little Timmy Turtle's fin right here. We're following the top curve. And using a simple shape, we simply want to follow the bottom curve. Now, instead of making another ellipse, I know that I have the right angle. So I'm going to click and drag this holding Alt. And then it's going to drag down to about where I want it. And remember when I said I had the right angle? I don't. Love that. So it's not fully pointy, but again, who cares? We'll fix it in post. We'll keep this here. Now, this is where we start to leverage a tool called the Pathfinder that is very powerful and very efficient for making complex simple shapes, taking simple shapes and making them into complex shapes. Let's go ahead and select both of these, and let's actually make them two different colors. This will help us understand a little bit better what we're doing here. So the back one we're going to make red, and the top one we're going to make green. Now, if you ever have scrapbooked, right, if you've ever done a hole punch, that's what we're going to do. The Pathfinder has a bunch of different categories and different functions. The ones that we're going to pay attention to today are add, which is right here. It looks like the two coming together. Think of that as hodgepodge, right? We're going to talk about crafting, right? That's taking things and pasting them together. And hello, Elizabeth, welcome. Next is subtract, and subtract is going to be like hole punching. It's going to take the top object and basically hole punch it out of whatever the bottom object is. Now, the next one that we're going to use is down here in Pathfinders. These get crazy, so don't get too crazy working with them. They can get totally insane. What we're going to do is we are going to use this one, which is divide, I believe. And divide is a powerful tool that it basically creates a die cut and it pushes it straight through the bottom shape. And yes, they are curious creatures swimming in Hawaii. They come right up to you and see what you're doing. Oh my goodness, I would cry. I actually saw manta rays once, and they like came up to me, and I cried while I was snorkeling, and I almost drowned because I couldn't breathe. That was ridiculous. All right, so we have these two shapes right here, and we're just going to go ahead and hole punch. Again, think about scrapbooking. We're taking the top object and punching it out. So the green object will punch out the red object using this subtract filter right here. So we click there, we got a nice little curve, and guess what? We're just going to click and drag holding Alt or Option, go to Transform, we're going to go to Reflect, and that is going to flip it to the other side. And from there, we're going to vertical reflect, and you can see the preview here that it is going over to the other way. So we're going to hit OK and drag it over here, and now we got a nice little extra fin. So we're going to drag this over here to our abomination of a turtle right now. And again, don't worry about the shapes. As long as your shapes are right, it will come together. Next, we're going to look at his little flippity flappers, and these look like rectangles to me. And instead of being little curves down here, right, they look a little jagged. I'm actually going to just use these as triangles, right? So again, simple shapes. Let's go ahead and make a rectangle for his flippity floppers. And from there, we are going to come over here, and instead of making a triangle, right, there's no triangle over here in our simple shapes, we can go to the polygon tool. The polygon tool is just going to tell us how many points or how many sides do we want on the shape that we're going to make. A triangle, has 3. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And look at that, we got a nice little triangle. We're going to use the R, which is rotate. And then I'm going to go ahead and scale it down. You guys are getting the Slack notifications. I'm so sorry. They're talking on the back end. So I'll try to mute them as we continue on. Oh gosh. All right, so more people joined. See, I knew this was going to happen. So real quick, everyone, pretend like we haven't done it. Hi everyone, my name's, oh hold on, we need to be underwater. Hi everyone, my name's Andrew Hockrattle. I'm doing the daily creative challenges for Adobe Illustrator every single day. If you're just joining us, you can go to behance.net/challenge/illustrator, and we have a new challenge for you every day for the next 2 weeks. We are doing the stream for Australia at this time every single day. And hello, another 50 people just dropped in. You can join us, and we are learning new things in Adobe Illustrator. We're having fun, and today we are underwater in Melbourne. We are looking at some fun sea turtles and finding out how to create a sea turtle or any animal out of simple shapes. So that's the catch up. Let's go ahead and hop into the mustard. Oh man, that joke was so bad. Here we are in Illustrator again using simple shapes. We are going to go ahead and make some little triangles. And if you were here for past lessons, we learned about transform again. We can simply hit Command D to go ahead and make a bunch of little cloudy claws. All right, so we're going to drag this over, and there we go. This is an abomination. Like, this is the ugliest turtle I've ever seen. I'm sorry, Timmy, but you're ugly. So let's go ahead and fix him up and make him not ugly. The way we can do that is we can grab all of these simple shapes, and we can start messing around with the proportions. Now, again, there's no wrong way to do it. You can have all your proportions off as long as your simple shapes are right. You can augment and work with them however you want. So we're going to click and drag to just scale this head up a little bit. And there we go. His neck is a little bit long, so let's move it down. There we go, little Timmy. Love it. Cool. So he's looking pretty okay there in proportion. His nose is, or sorry, his flippers, his little flippity floppers are looking a little bit wonky. So let's go ahead and scale those in just a little bit. And there we go. That looks like he's got a nice little fin. I'm going to transform again. And the only reason this is working, that we can work like this, is because we have done a good job at making these simple shapes. So that looks pretty good. Hello, welcome to the stream. And his little legs are too small, so let's go ahead and make those legs bigger. Let's make him a little thick. Right now he has 2 C's. Let's give him 4. Give him a little bit of thickness. All right, cool. So now he's looking like a sea turtle, looking like a little turtle. So we have him here as a turtle, and what we're going to do is I always make a copy. Now again, I can go to the outlines mode by hitting Command Y, and you can see that it's all simple shapes, a lot of simple curves, all together very simple shapes. And what we're going to do next is we are going to use the Pathfinder tool again to select all of the green. So get rid of the black eyes, and we are going to select all of the green. I clicked the wrong thing there. There we go. And what we're going to do, and yes, thank you, Elizabeth, thick with 4 C's. What we're going to do here is we are going to join these together. Again, think of it as hodgepodge. You're taking a whole bunch of things and you are pushing them together. So using the add right here in the Pathfinder panel, we can click that, and suddenly we now have all of the shapes that we need. Now, what we can do when we look here is we notice that some of these were more gradual curves. Well, guess what? Yes, we are going to add some details as we go. So check this out. Now we want his neck to be a little more rounded, right? What we can do is leverage these simple shapes to make much more complex shapes. Where these junctions are, we can select those and grab these nodes right here, and they will round out as we drag them out. So we can drag them out, and there we go. We have a gradual curve. If we were doing it with the pen tool, this would take a lot longer, but doing it this way with simple shapes, again, very, very easy to round things out. The same thing, his fins are ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So we're gonna go ahead and just round these out a bit as well. There we go. Nobody has pointy fins like that. So we have a little bit of rounded there. Let's go ahead and again, take these harsh angles and round them out. And his little feetsies right here, right? We said that they were a little more flippity floppity. So we're going to select all of them with the direct selection tool, hitting A, and grab these nodes and just pull them all the way up. And look at that. Now he's got some cute little feet. We're going to do the same thing for his leg connections and just round those out a little bit. There we go. And now he looks like a turtle. He looks like he's standing up, which is like kind of freaking me out a little bit. But we'll roll with it. Oh, it's terrifying. All right, so here's where you're going to get into the extra credit. This is a technique that I like to use to create some texture. So we're going to put his shell on here, and I'm going to make it a little bit of a different color so that we can differentiate it from his body. I'm into saying weird words on this stream. I don't know what happened. So we have his shell here, and check this out. What I want to do is leverage the full potential of the Pathfinder tool. Now we have the shell, but shells don't look like this. They have all kinds of little pieces. So how do we create little pieces? Remember what I told you about the divide in the Pathfinder. It's going to take all of these individual paths, and it acts like a die cut, so it pushes it through. So what we're going to do is take the pen tool and go crazy. Right? This is like, Andrew, you're like, this is supposed to be a tutorial. It's supposed to be precise. And we're supposed to be learning things that are like precise and professional. Nope. Again, there's no rules on my stream. So we have this top object, all of these crazy lines, and then we have our bottom object here. With both of those selected, we are going to hit divide, and what that does is nothing. That's right, it looks like nothing, but what it's done is it's taken a die cut and pushed all of these down and made them into their own shapes. So we can see that there's still all kinds of crazy shapes, and we can use the lasso tool by hitting Q to go all the way around anything that doesn't overlap with the shell. We just want the shapes that are in the shell, so we'll go ahead and overlap those and delete them. Looks like we missed one right there. And what's happening now is that all of these shapes right here, so I'll make them pink, all of these are individual shapes. So if we ungroup them, check this out. This is where it gets crazy. We can go, and this is your extra credit. You can push it as far as you want. You can go to Object, Transform, and transform each. Now, if we tried to scale this down individually, it would take forever. So we can go to transform each and change it to 75. We can change it to 80, whatever we want to, and it will take each of those pieces and it will shrink it down. So now we have a bunch of disjointed pieces that are all shrunken down. So we're gonna hit OK. And we're gonna center that out just a little bit. We got a weird wonky piece that's happening up here, so we're just gonna bye-bye. And there we go. So we have all of these different pieces, but they looked too sharp. So we're going to apply an effect here by going to Effects, going to Distort and Transform, and then doing Roughen. So Roughen is something that takes the path and it makes it wiggly, right? So we're going to take the settings all the way down to maybe, sure, 1%. That looks pretty good to me. And we'll hit OK. There we go. And let's change it back to that darker green. So now we've got this awesome pattern, and if we want to, we can even use the direct selection tool to round out some of these corners if they feel like they are too sharp, and our roughen tool will actually make it a little bit different. So that is the way to make an advanced crazy turtle shell. And then we can take him and, of course, set him free. Dude. So go ahead and make your animal. You can do whatever you want. You can do a quokka, you can do an alligator. Some people are going to do platypuses. And once you, platypi? What's the plural of platypus? Somebody look that up and put it in chat. You can go right here after you're done and go to bit.ly/AI Discord and post your project, post your animal in there. There's a lot of people posting theirs. We can see this incredible rendition of a turtle. And yes, it looks like he used the technique of cutting all the shapes together and then scaling them right here. on the edges. So it's a super handy way, especially if you're doing the texture of a turtle. So play around with that, see what you can create. I know that some other people did some tree frogs. I believe that there was a kangaroo a little bit earlier. So, oh, there we go, a dolphin or a porpoise, one of the two. So play around with those, post in Discord again right here. And every single day I will be your Platypisces, I like that. Every single day, I will be your host and your guide. Tomorrow, we will be heading back to the US of A, where I am. We're going to be talking about flags and show you and talk a little bit about vexillology and how to leverage indexes and symbols to visually communicate your story. So come back for that, same time, same place, and I will see you all again tomorrow. We won't be underwater. Sorry, I pushed the wrong button. We won't be underwater tomorrow. We're going to be somewhere else. Where are we? We're going to be, I believe, at Mount Rushmore tomorrow. So we'll check that out, and we'll have a different costume. We'll have lots of fun. Tune in for that, hang out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.